got a great question. Want to get this one out before it fucking pours. But the great question was, how do I keep my dog from going into certain rooms? So if you're like us, and most of the time our dogs have free reign of the house, except 2 rooms, which are the guest rooms, which we keep those doors closed. So one way to keep dogs from going into certain rooms is to keep the doors closed. But to get a little bit more specific, if it's a puppy and you're going, or puppy, or just any new dog in general who's learning the ground rules of the house of where they can go, where they cannot, what they can do, what they cannot do. So if you're in a room that, is off limits, say like a guest room, I'm just gonna throw myself out there as the example. So this way, extra fur and stuff just doesn't get into the rugs or onto the guest beds. That's why we just keep them out. Also, if anyone who's married or in a relationship who don't have kids, chances are your girl's probably use one of the guest rooms as her closet, and therefore, again, dogs get in there and just ruffle stuff up or get a bunch of fur in there. So again, that's how our guest rooms are. So for instance, at our guest rooms, the dogs are not allowed in. So best way to do it is, this is where a strong verbal correction is needed and is a great place for it. So, but leading up to that, whether again, if it's a puppy or just a new dog who's learning the lay of the land, learning your house rules, first things first, go in there and just keep the door shut. Even if you're in there, when you're out in the house, keep the door shut. But before that, or even after that, go ahead and make sure they know the sit and the down command. So if most of the time your dogs want to be with you, so when you walk around, occasionally they're going to walk around with you or by you. And before you go into those rooms, just tell them to sit, down, plots, whatever your command is, and then go into the room. If they break, go ahead and put a strong verbal no to it quickly and get them out of the room, and then put them right at the door frame, just right outside. So if there's like carpet inside the room and then tile outside, put them back on the tile. And again, start over with a sit or a down. But if they break, that is where a strong verbal correction, like a strong no or goes right into it. And if you can, time it even perfectly. So you have to watch your dog and walk into them. Again, if they're not on a leash, go ahead and walk into them so they don't get too far into the room. So this way the correction is not only verbal, but you have a slight physical presence of you walking them out and being that barrier of them getting in. If you want to take it a step further, you can go ahead and start playing games with this. Use their food, use a toy, put it on another side of the house, but make sure they are aware of it. Again, walk to the room that is totally off limits, put them in a down, sit. They're probably going to be focused on the food or the toy, whatever that high value item is, that prize is. Go into the room, spend a few minutes in there, and then go ahead and release them. But the idea is to get them to release behind them. So if the room is here, say enter here, they go the other way. So rather than entering the room, they go the opposite way. Okay, kind of almost like a reverse on door darting, sort of the same thing, same principles apply. But that is the best way to learn it. Just, one, keep the door shut. So this way they know I can't go in there. Like our bedroom door is usually open because they're allowed in there. But these particular doors are closed. So go ahead, for the sake of being, is keep those doors closed. If you need to go in there, and if you're walking towards those rooms and the dog is with you, go ahead and put them in a down and a sit, whatever. Go to a place, whatever. But if they break, instantly correct. If you want to put them on a long line, that's fine. Totally your call on that one. But you got to have a strong correction, especially so they know that is off limits and that is no good. That is, you cannot do a flyby. You cannot do anything like that. You cannot come in at all. And that's where, again, putting your presence and pushing them out, they're going to get the idea really quickly. And again, if they break in, you just got to hit them hard with a no. Go back, put them back in their place, sit down, and that is it. And then you can go ahead and reward when you leave the room. Go ahead and reward and praise for them sustaining that sit or the down. Okay, I hope this helped. Good luck. Talk to you next time. Done.